Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast. Today is my regular podcast. It's April the 24th. Yeah, 24th. It's going by fast. Holly of the Proper Pineapple has a birthday today, so happy birthday, Holly. And also, my cousin's daughter is currently in labor. So it looks like she's going to get a grandbaby today. Her first. Yay, Jerry Lynn. I wanted to show you how I do the breast prosthesis when I give those out locally. What I generally do is I put them in a gift bag. In the bag, I don't have the stuffing in here yet, but in the bag I generally put 2 quart-size baggies full of stuffing, because not everybody has stuffing laying around like us crafters. So I generally do that, and then I package everything up in a little baggie, and depending on whether they want 1 or 2, then I will put 1 or 2 of the breast prosthesis in, and this one actually has 2. And then in that baggie, I also put a information sheet. Basically, this is the material that was used, who knitted or crocheted the item, and the cup size. And I also include a sheet that tells them how to care for the item and how to use them if they want to use them for swimming. A little information card from the Prayer Shawl Ministry that tells them contact information. And then this is basically an information sheet about the stones that I include. The stones that I include, back in the past, they had suggested you use stones with little affirmations on them, and this one kind of smeared. Sometimes you can get the pen small enough to paint on there. This one is faded, but I think you can still see it says faith and love. Lots of times we say, we'll include those items in there, because in the past what they had you do was you would use a stone to place into the stuff into the breast prosthesis, so that it would help keep it weighted down. Many prostheses are weighted, not all of them are, but I think a lot of women have found they don't need the stones, so we like to include those for just positive affirmations. And then I also usually include a little note that tells them my contact information if they want to get in contact with me about something, or if they're having issues, And that's how I package those little ditties up. Otherwise, I include all my breast prostheses that I've knitted, crocheted, put them in a baggie, not a baggie, in one of the mailing bags, and ship them off to Knitted Knockers in Washington. Finished items this week. This is a scarf that I knitted, just plain garter stitch. Have it rolled up, and it's ready to go for the Hope Enterprise. Now, I found these scarves, and I think I made them maybe 5 years ago. And I don't even remember what I made them out of or what I did to make them. But there's one. I believe it was a knit. And I don't know what the material is, but that'll go for the Hope Enterprise. As well as one of those sachet ones. And I couldn't tell you what they were, because like I said, they're old. Kind of like me, they're old. And when you get old, you forget things. So I also have a couple of finished hats that I've got going. Sorry about the movement. And this one is, these are for men. And these are some of that with the chunky. I told you that it was Charisma. It wasn't Charisma. It was actually Deborah Norville's Premier Serenity chunky yarn. Of course, this one's in chocolate. That hat's in chocolate. I have two more balls, so I'll be able to make 2 more hats. And then this one was that tan that I had gotten at Scraps and Skeins, mixed with the deep forest, or forest. I don't think it was deep forest. I think it's called Forest of Deborah Norville. And yes, I did get those for $1 a ball. When I got back, I found a bag with the brown ones in it, and those were actually from Walmart that I'd paid $1 for a piece. Apparently they were clearing some out because either they weren't selling well or they just weren't going to carry the Premier brand anymore. Generally they carry their own brand mainstays now. Red Heart, some Bernat, mostly it's Bernat Baby, or the Bernat Pops. They do have those. They do have a lot of Lion brand, and Karen. So you never know with them what they're going to add and not add. When I was going through getting some of the tulle cut to make some more scrubbies, they had 2 yarns down there that were Sasha from some country. Apparently they got them in accidentally. The gal asked me if I wanted them. They had a bag of 5 of those. So I said, sure. So she marked them down for $1.25 and gave them to me for a bag of 5. So it's not too bad. This is more that tan that I had found, and then also another different shade that I have found. Oops, I don't want you to see the seam. That's awful. And then, of course, with the forest added in. Today I've got to go over and get that car worked on. You know, inspected and oil change. Not a whole lot going on here. Got another set of knockers on the hooks. Let me get my February lady out. I admit I didn't get a whole lot more done on her. And my friend is coming home from Hawaii visiting her daughter at the end of the week, so first part of May I'm sure she's going to ask me, is that sweater done yet? So I guess I better get to working on it. Started more of the lace pattern part, which is the bottom part of the sweater. So I've got a little more of that lace done. It's called gull lace, like Gull. And of course it's in that deep amethyst. I think you can see I didn't get a whole lot done. Only got a little bit done. Let's see. That's it basically for this podcast. I am going to post the for the finished part. I do have a couple other things, that are on the hooks and needles. Excuse the eye itch. Allergies again, I do have some more scrubbies. I did forget those. I will grab those and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, time ran out and I had to go get the car done, so I've got that done. But I'm back with the scrubbies. You can see where if I've run out of something, I just add something else. A lot of people don't care, about that. I did have someone ask me about possibly doing, from start to finish what I do with those scrubbies. And I am trying to figure out some kind of configuration to be able to film that. I do have a couple of more items. Well, I was at the at the car dealership. It only took about an hour and a half. I started another hat with that chocolate color. And I've had a couple of people ask me about some of the things that I make. Handbags, purses. This is basically, it was a practice piece for some free motion quilting. And the free motion quilting, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this is on satin. And many times when I get through with a piece that I have done with satin, I'll turn it into a purse. I did that with this. I just made a basic little wallet to try to see how how it would come out. And then I use it. This was a prototype. Of course, I don't know if you can tell, I put the zipper for the coin pouch in the wrong place. Stuff happens, but I don't mind. I go ahead and use it. One of the other things that I had made was a prototype, and this is a prototype for a wallet. I'm always trying to find something for a wallet to take gambling or around, and I love sugar skulls. I don't know if you know that about me. But I got this fabric at Walmart, the red. This fabric I actually got at Joann's, and this was my prototype. It's got some card slots, for your credit cards, those kind of things. And then it's got a little zippered pouch for change. And I had left just an open pouch on the top here for folks to slip whatever they wanted to in there, checkbook or whatever, and that works fine for that. The other thing that I do is, instead of just having this open pocket here, I will put another zippered pocket up here, so that if they want to put something inside the pockets, and then have a spot behind it, which you can see I have a spot behind it for the cash, whatever. So that's one of the other things that I make. This is my design. And then, of course, got a couple of other purses that I make. And this was a bag that I made from practice piece with the satin on the front, plain on the back. Got a little pocket here. And inside has a little zippered pocket on the inside. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a zippered pocket on the inside. And then the zipper, closes all the way across like this. This was made because I had some requests for bags to take for gambling. So I started making those, designed that one. And they come in various sizes. That one's probably about a 14 by 10, 14 tall, 10 wide. And then this one is a just little clutch, zippered inside, and just a little different clutch like that. I make those, have a little handbag that goes with it. So, people have asked what kind of bags I make. I make all kinds of bags. I told you about the tote bag that I made with the Penn State fabric for someone, and now I make a variation of that I sell. I don't always sell them through my Etsy shop. Many times I'll post it on a group on Facebook, and it's generally sold within an hour or two. So my Etsy shop has been closed for a while. I'm thinking about reopening it. Because I am going to add some project bags. I've been wanting to do that for quite some time, just haven't started. So I thought I would get that started. And that's it. That's all there is for today. I am going to include the footage that I'd taken when I took the film of my afghan, that afghan that I made with the browns. The only thing else that I have on the needles is my February lady and also another set of knockers. I've shown you all that. So that's it for today. It's going to be a pretty short one. I try not to go too far over 30 minutes. Sometimes I get a little mouthy. So that's it for that, and I will see you again next week. Here's the afghan that I was telling you about. It's the afghan. Did get it finished. Have it laid out on our bed. And down here is where I was telling you it started to gather and do a little pucker. And the way that I solved that was to, instead of putting 2 into each one, every other one I would put 2 double crochets, chain 2, do double crochet. The next one I would do 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet. And that solved the issue with that puckering, that wavy ripple that happens. And I've noticed when I do granny squares as big blankets that you kind of have to do that at a certain point so that you don't get so much waviness going on. And that's it. That's my tip for today.